All right. Welcome back to yet another Sunday game development stream. I'm your host Zokolov, as you might very well know, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I have a massive headache today, but I'm trying to get through this because I have some very interesting stuff to show, and hopefully some very interesting stuff to code as well. Haven't really planned this ahead so much, but hey, what are you gonna do? I'll work with what I have. Please let me know if audio is okay and if there are any problems occurring during the stream. I'm trying to keep an eye out myself, but sometimes it's hard to tell. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, the Sunday game development stream is my weekly effort of showcasing the 2D action shooter that I'm developing. It's gonna be a sci-fi themed, kind of a Doom, Half-Life, and other boomer shooter inspired, like as well as roguelike inspired action game, like 16-bit style action game. But I hope to have some unique features in it as well, like especially in regards to environmental storytelling and trying to tell a compelling, interesting, and different kind of story without the use of cutscenes or text or any like traditional elements like that. At least that's the plan. Who knows if that's actually gonna pan out. Hope everyone had a nice holiday season. I definitely had a great one. I'm gonna show you first of all what is, and I don't want to hype this too much, probably the best level for this game that I have created so far. I was starting it out kind of like wondering what to do in last week's stream, but now it's complete and it looks and feels and sounds really great. Just watch. I'm gonna boot it up here real quick. Yep, there it is. Tell me if the game audio is too low or too high. At least actually for me it's way up there. Actually, yeah, but I don't need to worry about that since I can just take off my headphones. I already know what it sounds like. It's you guys who need to actually hear this experience. So yeah, it has music now. Thank you, Kevin MacLeod, for saving the day once again. Not just with my YouTube videos, but with this as well. And the lighting, as you may notice, is much darker than the other levels. This was a relatively easy thing to accomplish. I just copied the light object from the previous levels and just changed around so the alpha is a bit higher to make it less transparent and giving it a much darker effect overall. And I also have shadow casting for the walls activated, as I already did last week, because I just think it looks really rad. But that's not all. I've been working very hard today to give the enemies still lacking sounds some sound design as well. Oh, there it was. You got the laser cannon sound effect over here from the security drones. Okay, get out of here, you. I'm trying to be quiet for a second to let you guys hear it. I love that. With the darkness, the music, and those sounds just coming, but you not quite hearing where they're coming from. Oh my god. Like, I had chills playing this for the first time. Which is quite a lot to say considering it's my own game and I know exactly what's gonna happen. Destroy. Somebody said, I think either last week or the week before, that these things look like Daleks from Doctor Who, which I never watched a single episode of in my whole life, but I guess it's just the generic drone design that has been has sunken into the public consciousness, that has infected me as well. Like, I was just creating something that looks like a security robot, basically. I think the inspiration I had is another laser shooting robot from Commander Keen. If I played that, classic game. So this level is going to be the 6th level in the finished game, and it's going to change things up a bit. It has a relatively low amount of enemies. It's much darker, more foreboding, and more linear as well. Like, there are a lot of narrow corridors in here. But things are soon gonna change up. Oh my god. That hurt like hell. Actually, I reduced the damage output from the drones a little bit because previously they were killing me in 2 shots. Highly annoying, especially when there's many of them. Oh yeah, I should keep down my volume a bit. I noticed in my first week stream I was way too excited about everything. Oh, what was that? Oh, that sounds so good. All voice acted and edited by yours truly. So the guards that I started working on 2 weeks ago have evolved quite a lot. Not only do they have more sophisticated AI this time, but they actually have sounds. How cool is that? Like, if they're in the idle state, as they are now, and I'm within a certain range, I can hear what they're chattering on about on the radio. But without further ado, let's give these guys a warm welcome. Narratively, like, you're supposed to be opening the doors for these security guards so they can take care of the mess that you're in. Like, trying to make you believe that, oh, these guys are gonna come in and fix the whole situation, but no. It's the old classic Half-Life plot twisteroo with the supposed help turning out to be evil. Oh my god. Starting out with the grenade right away. Oh my god. They do so much damage, especially when they get in the melee range. And I don't know if you could hear it, but there's a little flatline sound effect. I should probably make it a bit louder when they die. It's obviously inspired by the Combine soldiers from Half-Life 2. Damn, the radio actually sounds really good. That's just a public domain police scanner sound effect. Oh. Damn, I suck at my own game. Okay, do I have grenades? Nope. Okay. Let's make this a bit easier for me. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay, whatever. This is enough. I'm gonna make my flamethrower essentially a grenade launcher. Oh! Great. And because it didn't save those, I have to do it again, right? Yeah. Let's try not to die until we get to the next checkpoint then. Oh yeah, and it doesn't do as much damage as the grenade launcher, so... obviously, you have to worry about that as well. Suckers. It'll take more than that to put down our plucky engineer. I don't know if you can tell what they're saying. I'm quite curious if people can. For me, I have the kind of effect that I already know since I just recorded this like 1 hour ago, so... But I wonder if the average player can determine what they're saying. Probably not now since I'm talking and shooting all the time, but I'm gonna post this to itch.io soon, so anyone curious can try out themselves. Oh my god. These guys don't fuck around. This level is gonna be probably one of the most difficult ones in the game, ironically, even though there's so little enemies, because there's just so little space to navigate around them. Even though they do drop grenades and other helpful goodies, it's still gonna be probably gonna be one hell of a grind. Ah, man. Okay, yeah, and I'm not displaying as much skill right now, but of course I can show you how this game ought to be played. So for this level especially, you should go for the less Doom-like kill everyone quickly approach, but the more methodical, maybe Dark Souls-esque approach, I guess I could say. Yeah, I said in the beginning of the stream already, I have a quite the headache brewing up, so hopefully I don't have to cut this short. But I apologize in advance if that affects my what's the word there? Cognitive abilities and the ability to say anything sensible. Oh my gosh. I wonder if these if these dudes should be nerfed. Seriously considering it. I already lowered their range, so they shouldn't be able to spot you so easily from like off screen. And I'm probably gonna expand the view in the future, like make the actual area of the camera a bit bigger. But that has its own drawbacks. Like the fact that you can see the enemies before they see you is, of course, it's fair and it should be like that, because you know you're the player, you're basically God. But at the same time, it does make the game a lot easier. Oh my god, 0 energy. That's not a bug, by the way. Like, I intended it to be like you have sort of an energy shield around you that gets worn down more and more as you take damage, and then eventually it's down to 0, and so you basically die from a single hit. Yeah, I think I heard it pretty well now. The flatlining. And of course, narratively speaking, I also, yesterday actually, I drew this little spaceship thingy, which is, doesn't look very good. I think it should make it smaller. Because right now I don't know. It's a bit too primitive, like, even for this game. But I don't know, narratively speaking, you're supposed to be, like, escaping to this level and then using a shuttle to advance to the next levels instead of an elevator. But, you know, it is what it is. Ooh, 100% kills, 100% upgrades, 100% secrets. Nice. This is the thing that I think is gonna make this game have more replay value. I'm gonna also have a, for the speedrunners out there, a timer here that would indicate when you know, how fast you complete which levels. And I guess these should also be saved somewhere so they could be accessed, because right now they just, you know, they show it here once and then they get reset and they don't get saved anywhere. I don't know how necessary that is, because I don't think Doom saves that data on the disk anywhere. And that was that. Let's actually try to play the whole game as it is right now and see how many times we die and how difficult it is, what needs to be adjusted, and things like that. There are 4 complete levels. I'm going to have to probably add a lot of puzzles and other elements into them later, because even with this limited time frame that I have for this stream, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to complete the game in, well, if I really try, I'll complete it in a few minutes, but I still want to, like, pretend I'm actually playing it. I'm gonna say probably shouldn't take longer than 15 to 20 minutes to get through this, though. So first, comment this out, so when I launch the game, I should be in the main menu. Come on. Yay! Now very impressive, I have to admit. Also, there should be a continue thing here if you actually have a save file. But the thing is, continuing it from this room, because Game Maker has rooms for levels, continuing it from this room always causes some problems. Like, I'm probably gonna have to ask someone more knowledgeable about Game Maker about this, because I just cannot for the life of me figure that thing out. I can save during the game when you're in the level and then load it also, but loading it from this screen always fucking fails. Anyway, let's start. Yay! bit of a jarring effect when you just snap in here like that, but of course in the finished game, it won't be like that. I haven't played this level in a long time. But yeah, it really looks good with the shadow effects, even though it's considerably less darker than the spaceport level. I have a flamethrower here, because in the finished game, this is where I guess you'll first have it. For now, I have all the weapons in use because I want, you know, using the weapons is probably one of the most interesting things in the game, and I want people to actually experience that the moment they boot things up. I'm really surprised that people... Well, obviously Doom during its time was super new and influential, so I get that it caused quite a stir. But at the same time, when you first boot Doom, like the first level, and you only have the pistol, it's not that much fun compared to like later when you have all the weapons in your disposal, and you can have the shotgun and the rocket launcher and all those. Actually, the early game grind is something that almost every game has, even like the greatest games. They always, I guess especially during replay, they always feel a bit... Oh my god. This is, yeah, they always feel a bit more tedious than... And then get much more enjoyable as they go on. This is a kind of a nasty level design trick. Like the enemies ambush you the moment you step into the room. Ooh, that sounds good. But this is a optional room, so I don't mind making it a bit more difficult for the players. Adjusting the difficulty might be one of the hardest things, because most people that I have played this with are not like so hardcore gamers. Most people that I've made to play this, that is, are not so hardcore gamers, so of course they had some troubles with it, like why wouldn't they? But at the same time, I feel like those who do play a lot more games may find this a bit too easy, because the control scheme is very traditional and it uses a lot of gaming cliches. It doesn't have that many surprises yet. That will change, of course. But it doesn't have too many surprising things yet, so I'm wondering if people will find it too simple and easy. Even so, it's quite fun. Like, I do like how fast-paced it is. Nice. Why don't we just upgrade all the things that we can? Normal bullets will not pierce targets. Beautiful. Probably one of the best things in this whole game is like when bullets actually go through, because that actually causes damage every frame that the bullet collides with the enemy, and not just during the initial frame. Ah, damn. Okay. That not enough materials message closes automatically, but I think it should probably close a bit faster to make it less annoying. But I guess we have enough upgrades for now. I tend to use mostly the plasma rifle, the shotgun, and the flamethrower, which is, yeah, that's good enough already. But I don't make nearly as much use of this. Of course, one of the things is that I like killing things, and this doesn't actually kill so much. I mean, it can. It even has an upgrade that lets it do just that. Can I afford it? Oh, not this. Nope. Cannot. I am in some serious biofuel shortage. That shouldn't be too hard to come by, especially after I kill a bit more of these things. But yeah, the cold fuser, or the ice beam weapon, that's just my corny name for it, doesn't seem all that useful right now. I really have to make some sort of adjustments to how it works. I still can't get over how amazing that sounds. Monster, destroy. It sounds almost cute. I tried to make it that way by raising the pitch a bit. The original public domain sound effect that I based that on sounds much more sinister. But I've noticed a lot of the enemies that I created for the game are kind of cute. Like, look at them. Especially that little fungus dude. Which makes it all the more jarring that you have to kill them. Of course, then you encounter the human enemies later, and they're far from cute. And I guess because they're human with I don't know why I'm getting so into the lore of this game, but because they're human and they have the ability to reason, that would make them actually more evil than the general monsters. So this is level 3 in the final game. The first level right now. Even the elevator has a sound effect now. This is level 3, the hospital level. Which is the first level I ever created, and as such is fairly basic. It has your standard key card finding, and that's pretty much it. Overall, it doesn't have too many gimmicks in it. Oh yeah, it has the 1000 IQ flamethrower puzzle, like the one that you saw me throwing the box in the way of the fire. That's not even supposed to be difficult, it's just supposed to sort of, it's like a tutorial. I'm trying to make a Valve software style tutorial where you do things that are initially simple, but then they get brought up back later for more complicated puzzles. Teaching the player how to play as they advance in the game. I think that's it's a pretty cool idea. Like, obviously the way I implement it might not be the best. Okay, do I have enough stuff for my upgrades? Yes, I can make this. This is my favorite. So I activate the energy shield and pew. Should have some kind of sound effect though. I totally forgot about that. That one sounds good. I found some of these on Sound Bible. I'll credit them in the actual game. But the laser cannon sound was created by... Just a second, I'll find that for you. I believe it was laser cannon. Mike Koenig, Koenig. The energy shield looks sick. Thank you, Halo Potato. Drawn by me. Ooh. Even this has sound effects now. Welcome to the stream, Halo Potato. Thanks for the feedback. I really, I know this effect is not the most original or anything, but it was really fun to create all these, the pixel art for all of this. I'd say it's Halo indeed. How long have you been working on this game so far? I started fully like working on it since August of this year. Obviously with the lockdown and everything, you know, I had the time. But the idea came like even well before that. Like I said, at the beginning of this year I wanted to make a game, but I had it planned to be like a tactical shooter, so sort of a strategy game shooter hybrid at that point. But then I realized like this is my first like actual game maker project. So I should keep it simple. And if any of you out there are interested in making games, I definitely recommend just start as simple as you can in the beginning. Like this is already way too complicated. I have some past projects. I made a platformer with Lua, very simple, for a game development class, and I've done a little bit JavaScript games with friends, although those are not even as such games, but more like just websites with some game-like elements. So yeah, I could say this is the first real project. What about you? Any game development, game programming experience? I'm interested to know, especially if there are people watching that have even more experience than me with either Game Maker or anything else. Because it's very fun to learn from knowledgeable people. I follow the tutorials of... Oh, wait. Oh, that looks ugly. Better fix that later. Working in Unity on and off for a couple of years now. Currently my main project is my own engine in C++ and OpenGL. Damn! That's really impressive. But Unity is something that I really want to get into at some point. Maybe after I finish with this. Because this is made with Game Maker Studio, which is... I don't know what the serious game developers think about that. It is definitely a much simpler start than Unity. Even if you make a 2D game with Unity, it's, at least for me, a pretty big learning curve, I'd say. C++ OpenGL, like that's like creating an actual game engine, I think is a really good idea, because not only can you use it for a creative venture, like create your own game, but you can definitely try to like sell that to people as well, like sell it to game companies and whatnot. Not too impressive right now since it's just the beginning of the engine, but eventually it hopefully will. I hope so too. I wish you like a lot of success with that, because it, like, the idea for it is very promising. Whoop. Okay, come on. Got no time for your bullshit. So far I actually haven't died. So I don't know how much do I need to adjust the difficulty. Main goal with it is just to get more programming experience in advanced projects with many different components on it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think game programming compared to web or server programming is a lot more complicated. Like all the stuff that you have to do with graphics and actually getting stuff on screen and making it interactive is very challenging. Even with Game Maker, even though they give you a lot of stuff ready, like the amount of programming that I had to do, the amount of things that I had to learn, it's just crazy. I've been a web developer mainly for... Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. So apparently, from that previous level, we were supposed to go to a different one, but... Oh boy. Didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to. What was I saying? Yeah, I've been a web developer mainly for... Yeah, there it is. Our factory, and then intermission 5 is where we go to spaceport. Damn. Been doing web development for 6 years now. Yeah, it's gonna be 6 years in... Oh no, I'm not gonna start the whole thing. It's gonna be 6 years in January. I'm going to just pretend that nothing happened there, and we're gonna skip straight to the next level in our roster. Yeah, so with my programming experience, I thought I would have like everything I need to really get into it and start seriously considering game programming, game development, but it's a lot harder than what the inexperienced might think. Well, I mean, I never met anyone who thinks that programming is like such an easy thing, but those who do have experience in it may, at least like I'm talking about myself, may be quite surprised just how much work goes into it. Never finished this website, but just small projects. Yeah, if you're actually getting into web development, I do recommend React.js. That's probably the best framework right now for beginners and professionals alike. because it's really easy to get into it. The basics of web development are really easy to learn with it. Like the Create React App project really helps with getting stuff off the ground. And it's like basic JavaScript mostly, so it's easy to work with. This is the thing I created last week, the assembly line. What's the word here? Conveyor belt, yeah. Because this is kind of a factory level, but it didn't have a factory vibe really until I made this. Now the lore behind this thing is that the materials used to make the ammo for my plasma-based weapons actually come from these critters here. So what initially seems like just a basic infestation from aliens might actually be something quite different. Not the most original plot conceit, but on its own, I know. Like that's basically just Half-Life meets Dead Space meets 1,000 other sci-fi stories, Resident Evil, blah blah blah, but I still hope to add a bit more layers to that than just that. The main thing I want to do with the narrative is just to keep the players on their toes. Okay, do I have the upgrade capacity for this one? Yes! Now I can make the ice beam weapon almost like a sniper rifle like thing. Okay, not a sniper rifle. More like, I don't know. I just got the idea from Overwatch basically. A little bit of fire with your ice. Okay, this is another 1,000 IQ puzzle, but this is slightly more advanced. I think, I don't know. Again, it's hard to say since I haven't beta tested this with anyone. Also, these puddles are supposed to be animated. I don't know what happened there. I haven't beta tested this with anyone like seriously yet, but I don't know how easy it is to realize that, you know, you open the gate with this button here, but how can I advance with the gate whilst standing on it? Well, you can. That's why you have the boxes. Nice. Okay, I think it's time to crank out the upgrades. So this is the ghost suit upgrade that you would get at some point, but I just have a map to a key right now, which basically allows you to go through walls and slip past enemies undetected. Then you get the fire suit. Just spews fire everywhere. Not very complicated, but I do like the visuals of it. Sounds a bit annoying though. And this thing makes you huge. Lets you blow things up by just hitting them. And basically you take no damage at all. And then this one. Oh my god. Ah. Okay, good. I was just out of range. Makes you walk and shoot very fast. The fire suit looks nice. Thank you. That's probably the most visually pleasing one. Okay, here's probably my favorite feature in the game. The ally system. First, let's open that door. Oh, come on. There. If you free this little fella from its torment. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. There we go. Need to adjust the hitbox there. It will follow you around and will help you kill things. Okay, that didn't showcase it very well. There we go, yeah. Ordinary enemies have nothing on this dude. Look at that. The game just basically went into easy mode. Also, the fact that you are introduced to this similar looking enemy earlier on, but then you have to actually free them, should really make the players think. No, probably not. I'm just being pretentious here, but it's just a nice little twist. I don't want to take any risks because those security drones will kill my friend with one shot. Even after I nerfed them a bit earlier on today. It's very weird that sometimes these puddles just don't animate at all. Every other object that I plunk into Game Maker, like, animates just fine. As long as it has multiple frames, it will play them. But these ones, I think they were working in the beginning of this level, and then if I die in the middle and reload, they stop working. So there's probably some fuckery going on there. Oh my god. Oh man. Are you kidding me? I have a typo in my code. Ah, classic me. Okay, that's quickly fixed at least. Pickups. Key green. Yep. I don't know what I'm trying to write here, but it's supposed to be audio play sound. Dummy. Okay, let's speedrun this level so I can at least get to the final one to see just how difficult is this game supposed to be. Bye-bye. Don't have time for you. Yeah, see? Now they're working. I'm bubbling up all nicely. Yoink. Yeah. You in the finished game, you won't have this upgrade initially, but... Oh my god. Oh! Moving too fast. You won't have this upgrade until like much later on, so I can actually design some puzzles around this gameplay element. Okay. Come on. There we go. Now to free my friend from the torment that is placed on. The story reason why this is all happening is, of course, what you might expect. Humans doing experiments on these aliens and then pretending that they actually invaded this space station that the game takes place on. I guess even the fact that this is supposed to be a space station is obviously not very apparent right now. Looks like it would be a little too overpowered if you had the upgrade at this point. Yeah, of course. When you design a puzzle where you have to go through it, yeah, where the main thing is going through a door, obviously you don't want to give the player the thing that just allows them to do it by clicking a button. But maybe later on I'll have puzzles that have maybe some kind of... Oh, they killed him! Bastards. Or her, I don't know. Yeah, maybe some puzzles that involve going to secret rooms or fetching some key that is just happens to be behind some inaccessible wall. Maybe nothing so hackneyed as that. I feel like get the key is a little bit too simplistic. That's just the first thing that came to mind. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, now I got the key. Quite embarrassing that that had to happen during a stream, but on the other hand, if I hadn't been streaming it today, I probably wouldn't have noticed it until after posting this on itch.io or something, and then people would be saying like, oh, this shit crashes in the middle of the game, or this sucks. I'm never gonna play anything from this guy again. Probably not. That's just hypnotic. And surprisingly smooth. Like, that has about 7 frames of animation, but it ended up looking pretty great. Now I have the key. Come on! Unable to convert string green to bool. Yeah, of course, because... Yeah. Okay, another fuckery here is some sort of type discrepancy. Good to test your game before putting it because these seem like some game-breaking bugs. Yep. Unfortunately, these bugs came after I had already posted it, but still. Let's see. Yep. This shouldn't be necessary anymore. Okay, now we won't even bother releasing the prisoner. We're just gonna railroad through this thing. Come on. This level I had probably the most difficulty in, like, in terms of the programming, because first of all, the buttons that you use to open doors really, like, were just not working properly if you loaded the game after dying, because after loading the game it doesn't put all the variables in place correctly, so I had to kind of hack that and make the game just recreate the... Get out of here. Had enough of you people. Recreate the buttons and doors manually, basically. Like, sort of like forcing their existence when you enter this level. Okay. Ah, okay, okay. So actually it's this line that has the problem. Even though I thought in GML, which is the programming languages for Game Maker, it should treat that like if and then variable, as in if the variable actually exists or not, but apparently not. But hey, good thing this version is only on my computer. Because first... Oh! For sure, I tested the version that I put into itch.io quite thoroughly. Then again, some of these bugs only come some of the time, so it's really mysterious sometimes. But that's really the nature of programming. Like, things that work fine one day will just mysteriously stop working the other. And your own lack of understanding is the only thing standing between you and the finished product. Obviously that barrier is another thing that just doesn't work sometimes. And that's also what I'm wondering about, because I have an exactly similar feature in other levels, which are elevators that you need a key for. And those always work fine. Yes, finally. Okay, another mini-boss. These things are going to be recurring enemies later on, but right now you're only encountering one of them. I don't know if you saw it, but they're supposed to be transparent, partially, and they shoot bullets that turn into acid puddles on contact. So, you know, if you get hit and just stand around doing nothing, very likely that you'll die immediately, because those puddles hurt, again, like every frame that you're standing on them. Yes, and do we get into the next level? Okay, well, it said entering level 5 again, but thankfully I wasn't foolish enough to make myself go into the same level again. Oh god. Come on. Obviously the amount of bullets, your health, and the upgrades that you installed carry from level to level. Just that all the progress from the levels 3 and 4 got cut off since I had to fix the bugs. This sound effect was partially inspired by the Midnight song, which I believe was just called Monster. I don't even remember what that was called. But there is a lore reason as well as to why they say Monster. Also, they have another sound effect, but I feel like randomizer is not working as it should again. Come on. Let me hear it. No. But yeah, I said in the beginning of the stream that this is probably my favorite level that I've created so far. Even if it is the most simple and the most short and has the least amount of enemies. It's not only the most challenging, but just the atmosphere of the darkness and the music and the enemies ambushing you from the shadows. It's just really great. Oh man. Though the fact that they can kill you from off screen is a bit cheap. I wanted to make it this challenging, but there's a fine line between what is fun hard and what is just come on hard. Sometimes simple is just better if you get to normally make things better. It's more simple. Yeah, I agree. Having overly convoluted levels would not really enhance the gameplay experience of this game in any way. It would just make it harder to navigate through and just a chore. That sounds so good. God, shouldn't compliment my own sound design, but I just love their chatter. Oh yeah, another little AI quirk, which is intentional, but I don't know if I should keep it or not. So, even if they cannot see you, like you're behind a wall or door or whatever, but if you shoot, they will know that you're there. That being said, it doesn't really make sense that they just start randomly shooting at the door. So I might have to do something about that. I don't have time for your bullshit. And I have 1 hit point left, practically. Actually 0 hit points, but let's sneak through these enemies. Like the fact that I have problems passing this game or this level myself should probably tell me something as a game designer that, hey, maybe this should be made a bit easier. I already had to do some nerfing to this level earlier on when I wasn't streaming, because this dude here was way too close to the door, so you basically got ambushed by him the moment you entered the room. And that's another thing that I just... Okay, weak melee enemies ambushing you is fine, but since these guys can kill you very quickly, I thought that's just unfair. And yep, that's all my sounds that you're hearing right now. One more. At least I'm being pretty generous with the armor and health pickups, so I think, you know, if you made it all the way to this level, you should be fine. And will it crash? Nope. Perfect. That was the game thus far. It took a little bit longer, but there was some technical problems, so... And I wasn't really taking my time, but I did die often also, so I guess this is like a 20 minutes of game time so far. And considering the months and months of effort that have gone into it, you can probably see that there's still a lot more to go. Of course, most of the effort was coding the behavior of the weapons and enemies, which, now that it's done, I don't have to do anything else but adjustments. So technically, most of the work that is left is just creating more levels. Looks a lot of fun so far, though. Thank you so much. I agree, actually. I'm having a lot of fun playing this game just on my own. I was kind of inspired by Doom, so that's why I wanted to have a co-op campaign at some point, but that's like way off. I just want to create a fun single-player experience first, get it out there, and then take a deeper look at game makers' networking mechanics and see if co-op with 1 or even 2 players would be feasible. Is all of that in your itch.io version? No, I will post a complete version soon, but this latest level is not there. It only has the levels... what were they? Yeah, all the levels except for that last one. But yeah, feel free to download it and tell me what you think. I can actually drop a link into the chat right now. So you can basically get an idea already there. Hopefully the bug that we ran into is not there at the moment. So yeah, there was a mistake somewhere. I think it was this one. No, not level 5 manager. It was a UI object. Intermission 5. Yep. So this should say now entering level 6 spaceport. Nice. And now, since we still have about an hour of designated stream time left, what I think I'm gonna do is start to work on the upgrading system. So right now you can just access them immediately and they're all very overpowered. So I need to add drawbacks and I need to finish the UI for the upgrade system, like actually building and accessing the upgrades. I need to figure out how the player will activate them. Like, is it a key press? Is it is it gonna be a use a weapon slot, or how is it gonna be done? Like a hotkey is like my first thought, but it has its own problems. Especially like if there's so many keys for the player to memorize, it's gonna be like unintuitive. Right now it's pretty basic. You just have WASD or arrow keys. You got the mouse, you got spacebar, and ESC for pausing, and that's pretty much it. So I don't think that's too overwhelming for most players. But then, as soon as I start introducing things like press L to use this suit, but press Z to use this one, it's gonna be like just most people are not gonna bother. So I guess the obvious thing would be to have make them last less long. So I believe, actually don't know where. Okay, here they are. So the ghost suit. Yep, upgrade effect time 3,600. So that's a whole minute. I think for this one we're gonna have it be active for, I think I wrote that down actually somewhere. I have the super secret design document that will never see the light of day somewhere. Okay, well, whatever. Or I just decided now. That's the magic of the spontaneous programming in the stream. Let's make it half a minute. Too much? 20 seconds. So in 20 seconds, considering how fast-paced this game is, you should feasibly be able to, you know, get into a secret room, grab the shit that you came to get, and go back. It's not that difficult. And for the others, I think it's gonna be even less, because I don't want people to get stuck in walls or whatever. I haven't actually tried what happens if you... Actually, let's try that right now. I'm curious to see if my collision programming is good enough or not. So we activate the ghost suit, and let's go inside a wall. Actually, for these walls it's probably fine because they're all very narrow. And deactivate it. Yeah, I'm just gonna be on the other side. Yep, that's fine. With the only abilities that you have are, if it's on different keys, yeah, it might get a little confusing, but it might be fine as long as you give enough time for them to remember the key and what it does. Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, I think also having them all accessible through keys might be... especially if I wanted to make... and I know this is a pipe dream more than anything, but if I want to make a Switch version, for example, then having too many keys might be a problem for that. But you are, like, what you said is true. Like, if the upgrades are introduced, like, slowly, and not just dumped on you at once, then yeah, it might be possible. Excuse me, I need to eat. I shouldn't eat on stream, but I totally forgot. I think what I'm gonna have is, because I've used keys 1 through 8, for the weapons. I think I'm gonna have number 9 as the upgrade key, and basically through a menu you can change the upgrade you want to access through 9. So yeah, flame suit. Well, if that was 20 seconds with a ghost suit, then this one, considering how powerful it is, it should maybe be active for 10 seconds. That would be 600 steps. It kills very quickly, so 10 seconds might be enough. Also, the player takes reduced damage with the flame suit on, but I think to give some kind of drawback to it, I will make it so that you actually take more damage for some for some magical reason. I don't know. Hurt player, yeah, here if fire suit, reduce damage by half. If the heavy suit is on, reduce damage to 10%. This one maybe will leave as is, except 20%, so it's not so overpowered. And for this one, we will actually multiply it by 1.2. So you take 20% more damage with the fire suit. Considering most enemies are totally stun locked if they take damage, and the fire suit spits so much fire in every direction, so you're basically ensuring that every enemy in the radius will be stun locked. So I think this even won't be even that big of a drawback, so I think it's fine. Actually, fuck it. 1.5. That'll teach him not to spam this thing. Also, yeah, some sort of thing. I'm thinking of Kingdom Hearts, where if you spam the drives too much, you can unlock the anti-Sora or whatever. I think that might be a fun drawback to program eventually. Like if you spam the upgrades, there's some kind of hidden counter that if it reaches a certain point, then maybe you will, I don't know, get some kind of negative status effect on you. Not sure about that yet. Okay, yeah, back to these. So fire suit, and then all of the other ones probably should be 10 to 15 seconds. Let's see, heavy suit, yeah, let's 15 seconds. Speed suit, I'd say 10 seconds. This one is another very overpowered one, because like you saw how fast you shoot when you have it on. I guess, yeah, and each of these also needs some kind of drawback. Now with this one, what? Why did it fail? Let's try that again. Okay, yeah. I don't know, if I press it too fast, it just crashes for some reason. For this one, the slow speed, I think, is the biggest drawback. And it's really slow, so I think that's fine. But yeah, the fact that you can just ram into things... Oh yeah, I think that time is good. Then for the speedy suit, you can do sprinting. Woo! Like the shift key, which is normally a melee key, is actually a sprint key, which doesn't really work as well as I want to. Anyway, the only drawback for the speedy one is that it's a little harder to control. Oh yeah, I want to test the weapon rate. I think if it's only 10 seconds, maybe it doesn't need a drawback. It's like the speed upgrade from Quake and the new Doom games. So that's fine. And then was there any more left? No, that's pretty much it. 10 seconds is pretty short amount of time. And it's so much fun to use. Let's throw them a bone. 15 seconds. Now, we don't want them to just be able to spam them either, so let's introduce some kind of power cooldown. We have so many globals here. Gonna be very hard to keep track of, but let's take a risk and introduce something. Yep, well, obviously it makes sense to add it here. Upgrade cooldown equals to 0. And then let's see. Nope, not lamp. So yeah, then there's also like the cooldown should be incremented only based on like how much you are using your powers. So if you only decide to use it for 5 seconds and then cancel it, it won't be as big as like if you use it for a whole minute, not minute, a whole 10 seconds. So let's see if, yep, here. So global upgrade cooldown equals global upgrade cooldown. So for every frame, so 1/60th of a second, we will make it so that you won't be able to use your powers for half a second. So that would mean if you use it for 10, no. Okay. Actually, yeah, let's calculate. Let's do some quick maths here. So after using something for 10 seconds, then you would have a 5-second cooldown, right? That's not very much. So let's do it like this. And then if you don't have a upgrade on, then it will just be reduced every frame. So this would mean every frame is 60, so in 1 second you would have 3,600. Right, that's right. So if I do it like this, then 1 second of using a cooldown would be 60 times 60, which is 3,600. Yeah, okay. Bit too much here. So for 1 step, we'll increment it by 10, which will, I'm just improvising here. This is jazz. This is jazz programming that we have going on here. For 1 step, we will increment it by 10. So for 1 second, it will be 60. No, 10 times 60, 600. This is probably fine. I don't know. It's easier if I see the number in practice, because like converting frames to seconds in my head all the time is really not easy. Yep. And then in order to actually use these cooldowns, these upgrades, we will need to make it so that cooldown is at 0 equals to 0. Or yeah, which reminds me, obviously I will have to also make it so that it doesn't go below 0. Basic programming. So yeah, if global, yeah, and then we add this to all of those. I know I'm definitely forgetting something here, but it's the first step. Okay. Now we should also try to make that number visible so I can actually debug this better. So let's actually put it in the UI. So I think it's here. Yep. So var cooldown string. Hold on a second. So upgrade cooldown is there. Clackety clack clack. Need a quieter keyboard. Perfect. Now let's see. So if you don't have a upgrading effect, it should show you the cooldown time. Yep. So I will use it for the whole 10 seconds that it lasts. Look at them all die. Yeah, so using it for 10 seconds means you won't be able to use it for 100 seconds, which I think is a fair trade. I think that's perfect. In the future, I will make it so that this number here won't be shown as a number, but instead as some kind of a meter. Ah, so I just played a couple of minutes of it, and it probably wasn't enough time, around 5 to 7 minutes. I just got lost on the first level for the whole time. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't mention it yet, but in regards to the level design, I'm really happy. Thanks for the feedback, by the way, because I'm really not sure if people are able to find their way. Because the basic idea for that first level is that you go to find the key, but I think maybe it's too big. Would you say that you felt the level is so big that you get lost, or is it just that there's too many rooms? Or what's the problem? Because yeah, 5 to 7 minutes, it's not long, but I still think in that amount of time, it should be theoretically possible to at least figure out what the objective is. Did you find the elevator that you need to access? Because clicking that with the spacebar should give you the... and yeah, I know that because there's no controls, like help thing available yet, that might also be possible. I got the key and then went around and I didn't find the elevator. Oh, damn. Yeah, maybe the elevator should be a bit more visible. I can show you from the room editor. This is fun. It's nice to get some like real feedback, because everyone else who I made, like, that I forced to play this game usually did this like with me sitting there next to them, so I could give them some hints. So you start from here and then do. The elevator is here, but obviously because of your field of view is so small, maybe I'm guessing you just went down here to get the key all the way from the bottom here, and then you never even saw this, which is totally understandable, by the way. I'm not trying to diss your skills or anything. And yeah, that's a problem. So I think maybe it's more logical that instead of here, the elevator should be like somewhere where you could see it as soon as you walk through here. Like, for example, just, I don't know, move it here. So I'll do that. Yeah, and then this tile, because I have a little indicator here to show that you need a red key to access it. Oops. There. And replace that with a normal wall. Maybe this will make it better for the next version. I don't know. But that should be maybe more obvious now. Thanks a lot. Really helpful, by the way. Also, I can feel good looking at the stats on my HO page, and I can see that somebody downloaded it, so great. Yeah. For here, I should probably not bother showing the cooldown if it's 0, so let's add a little if here. Never saw that. Went down, got the key, went back up the door at the top right, thinking that's where I was supposed to go, and then spent some time going around finding it. Ah, right, yeah, because that door is optional. Because I don't know. I like creating rooms that are optional to go to, that you don't have to, that are just like not necessary for completing the level, but have some goodies that you won't access until later if you don't seek around. But I can see that it could also create some confusion, because if you have a room that doesn't have anything related to progressing in the game, then some people might feel like, what's the point? I wasted my time in here. Yeah, oh, well, yeah, thanks. Glad to hear that the room itself, at least, you know, you get the idea of it. And yeah, that's gonna be a constant problem, because the level that comes after that is actually the biodome level, the green grass level that is totally like open-ended. And that is a problem in and of itself, because you have to really go everywhere to see where you need to go, and for some people that might be a bit frustrating. Of course, in the finished game, that's going to be like those are going to be level 3 and 4, and I'm going to make levels 1 and 2 so simple that, you know, people shouldn't get lost in them. But still, I don't want somebody to like totally feel like they're lost in the game. That's not the idea that I'm trying to create. Oh, so that's cool. So having it for a couple of seconds, the cooldown is much smaller. Yeah, for this finished game, I will have some kind of meter that's ticking down. And instead of a text, maybe just have a clock icon or something like that. Or what's an icon for a cooldown? I don't even know. Or maybe like Overwatch style thing that, you know, it charges. Instead of going down, it actually goes up to show you that, hey, upgrade is now available. Ah. So I played the destroy sound effect. That's good, because now you are able to see that there's actual enemy infighting a la Doom in this game. Because these robots, both the security and these cute little cleaning robots, actually, yeah, they will target the monsters as well. And similarly, if they hit the monsters, then the monsters will go after them. I'm gonna try to get... Yep, now I should... Haha, amazing. Initially, I wanted to have, like, all enemies fight with each other, Doom style. But that was very difficult to implement. So in the end, I just had 2 classes for monsters. You have the quote-unquote human side, which are the guards and the robots, and then the monster side, which are obviously the monsters. Monster, yes. And the monsters will, by default, only target the player unless they are hurt by the robots. But the robots will target both the player and the monsters, just depending on which one gets into the field of vision first, or if they get hit like that. Also, it's quite funny that even though these guys can actually shoot, they almost always lose against melee monsters, because their attack speed is just so much higher. Even though for the player, I think, at least for me, it's totally the opposite. Like, melee monsters, no problem. As long as there is a manageable number of them, they're fine. But the projectile shooting monsters, they always cause the biggest problems. That's another difficulty. Like, I have to actually make the melee monsters a bit more threatening. In the later levels, there are some faster ones, but I really don't know how to make these basic ones feel like they can actually kill you, apart from just putting a shit ton of them into the game. Because in Doom, you remember the Pinky Demon is relatively easy to kill, because it doesn't have any ranged attack, but at the same time, I guess it's just the amount of hits it can take, and its speed that makes it more threatening. So really hard to balance that. What are you doing, guard robot? think I will eventually have to implement some sort of for the sounds, make it like they don't play if you're not within range, because right now it's sounding a bit shit. Who is shooting over here? Might even be like from the opposite end of the level. So I have to, like, for all of the sounds, I'm gonna have to put like if player is within a certain amount of range, let's say 300 pixels or whatever. Okay, so cooldowns have been made. Now for actually thinking of how to activate the upgrade and how to access them by the player. Because let's change it so I don't go to that level again, because it's really frustrating. Make the player go to spaceport, because that level is far less noisy and more fun. So for the weapons, I created this very simplistic menu with the kind of ugly gray overlay and the white text on top. Just like the only way I could think of at the time, but it's really, really tedious to code this, so I was hesitant on whether or not to actually include this in the stream, because you have to manually place all of these sprites and all these texts when you're programming it, I mean, because there's no UI creator in GameMaker. I think that's one of the biggest drawbacks of that software. You should have, I don't know, just some sort of a extra feature for creating nice UIs. Because you can create cool levels easily. You can place tiles. Programming is easy. Drawing sprites is easy. But the shittiest thing is to actually make menus and stuff. So this is only controllable by keyboard, either by WASD or arrow keys. But actually creating some sort of mouse interface is, while possible, a huge pain in the ass. I'm probably gonna have like the upgrades in a list like here, and then if you haven't found them in the game yet, then this will show as like not found yet or whatever. And if you have found them, you'll have the build option, and if you have built them like this, then it's like this. But unlike with the weapons, I don't have any pictures to complement them, so I guess I have to draw some. Same with Unity, you have to place things separately unless you make your own script to automate adding items to the shop in. Yeah, that sounds tedious as hell. I guess creating a script at that point would be just like saving time, to be honest, in the long run. Especially if you can reuse that script for different projects. Because I can show you how this, in GameMaker, this menu was created. Let's see, objects, UI, weapon upgrade menu. So not only do you have to have a key press events, or I guess you could have a gigantic if-else statement here in case of in place of these. And then you have all these like switch cases over here. Let's drag them over. And you have to have so many ifs inside the switch cases. Just a nightmare. And then I had to create a whole a whole amount of functions just to draw the actual upgrades. If you have a lot of items, you can use the script to save time in the long run, yeah, but if you only have like 3, it wouldn't save time. That's true. Fortunately, I only have so many weapons and so many suit upgrades. I have 8 suit upgrades in mind, and there are some differences. The ones that I showed already are like active upgrades, so you activate them and they do shit for a while, and then there's a cooldown. But I also want to have passive upgrades, like build this to get more health, like increase your maximum health, increase your maximum armor, increase blast protection from explosions, or protection from the traps. and then those need to be separated somehow in the actual UI. Damn, as I'm talking, I'm looking for the paper where I drew my master plan on, but I cannot find it. So I'm just gonna have to wing it. So fuck it, let's do it. Let's get started at least. Oh yeah, let me show you like this draw function just is like, it has the X and Y coordinates of all the sprites that I'm placing. But not only that, I also had to create separate functions because this event was getting so long. Let's see if I can find them. I think they're in draw functions. Yep. So yeah, all this text, all these sprites had to be placed like this. Of course, after I created the one, I could just copy paste it for all the others because at least the placement is the same for all the items. Actually, let's take a look. What would this look like for the suit upgrades? Let's visualize how it's gonna be. So at least, you know, for the weapons, each of them has 2 upgrades, so that comes up to 16. But there are only 8 suit upgrades in total, so yeah, I'm hard coding the shop. Not the best idea, seeing as you have Unity experience, you probably can think of a better way already. But yeah, I'm hard coding it because all the other ways that I saw just didn't seem right for this upgrade menu option, like all the tutorials I saw. So I just did this all by myself by hard coding because I don't want to spend an eternity on a optional feature in the game. I guess we'll have the items listed somehow, the ones that you found already, and then by yeah let's make it like this. We'll have, unlike with the weapons, I could just show the ones that have already been found in a list, so we don't have to worry about the order so much. And we can determine it by the length of the array of the upgrades that have been found already. And then by going through them with the arrow keys, you could see the price, the cost as indicated here, and you could have the build upgrade. And then we also need a separate option, I think, if we're going to do it the way that I thought, like change active upgrade or whatever, like the one you activate with by choosing it, I guess, from the weapon menu and then maybe clicking the mouse or whatever. Like you have, I'm toggling either with the mouse wheel or arrow, number keys. I can switch the weapons. So after the energy shield, I could have whatever upgrade that I have in place of here, or nothing if I don't have anything there. Of course, that's complicating the weapon selection just by itself, so kind of a lose-lose situation, but we'll try it like that at first and see how it goes. Or maybe that last part is not necessary. I think okay, yeah, the weapon, putting it in the weapon menu is not necessary. Let's make it like that, because we're just gonna have it activated by a key, but we can have only one key, and the active upgrade will be shown on the menu, and you can change it through there. Yeah, sounds good. It's actually kind of inspiring in a way, because normally I would just think quietly for 20 minutes, like, how am I gonna do it? Actually being able to talk through to someone and not look like a crazy person because I'm streaming, so I have an excuse, is kind of cool. So, nope, create object, suit, upgrade, menu. We have a lot of events here, but let's just create these first. So create event. Yep. Upgrade selected. False. So this is the variable that's going to be. Oh wait, no. Easier to just have upgrade selected equals no one, which is the null in a GML. So when you're cycling through them, you're gonna have this is gonna change based on what is selected at the moment. It's easier than with the weapons, because with the weapons you have to actually go into the weapon itself and then choose one of the two upgrades. While with here, there's only like one upgrade per upgrade. Hard to explain, but you'll see. And what else do we need? I guess nothing much. Also, this is dumb. I don't need to recreate all the UI like things like click down to go down things, because they have already created them. I can just thankfully duplicate the weapon upgrade menu and just change the name. Presto. So now the only things that I need, well, I still need to change a lot of things, but it's a little bit less. So def is fine. Selected upgrade equals no one. And where are the upgrades? Here. Yeah, okay, good. I wrote them down already. So just like with the weapon upgrades, which normally in the game you would have to find in the field, you're gonna have them all available in the demo version from the get-go, but not built yet. So you actually will have to build them by collecting the materials you get by killing enemies or opening boxes or whatever. Okay, so this will be the array that we're cycling through. Where's suit upgrade menu? Here. So at least the good thing is that instead of hard coding everything like I have here, we can actually do a for loop and go through them like this. I'll keep this part because this will just put all the available materials to the bottom, like with the weapon upgrade menu. Yeah, we'll delete this. And we'll delete all of this. And cursor. Need to drink some water. Yeah, the cursor will have drawn, but obviously it will be based on the current upgrade instead of the current weapon. And this will be suit upgrades. Okay, then we need to actually access this menu through the normal pause menu. So, yep, here it is. Okay, so let's see if we can activate the menu just like this. So right now I should just have the text and yep. Oh, what? This shouldn't be there. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I see. Okay, so the game should be paused, but because I have clearly done some hard coding to determine like if this is in existence or not and what to display or not. So let's find out what's happening. Yep, here we go. So obviously we'll also need to see if suit upgrade menu exists if we want to show all the other UI stuff. Suit upgrade menu. Yep, same thing here. If either weapon upgrade menu or suit upgrade menu exist, draw this. And same here. And here. Great. Let's try it again. But also, I don't want to go to the main menu all the time. So startup. Let's just jump straight into the starting room the moment we boot up the game. Game Maker has some kind of optional feature that you can buy, basically, that you don't have to relaunch the game every time you make changes, which would be excellent for development, but just don't want to, you know, spend the cash. That annoying. Okay, now it's. Ah, fuck, yeah. Well, that was gonna happen, but at least I cannot move the player anymore with this open. So, where's that paused coming from? G objective paused. Yeah, I shouldn't come. Let's see if there's anything else. Yep, we are creating the suit upgrade menu here if we select it. Oh, I also have it set like you can press the space bar besides enter for no other reason besides that it's good usability in my opinion to have multiple options, because some people are used to using the enter to select things while other people like to use the space bar. Let's see. Nope, still showing. Objective paused. Ah, wait. If either objective mag, yeah, cannot be or, it needs to be and. We need to check that both do not exist, not if one of them exists or not. So yeah, obviously I have this error in every other place that I added it to. No wonder. I think this is, even after so many years of programming, this is probably one of the most common stumbling blocks for me. When you have so many variables happening, it's so hard to keep track of, okay, do I want this to happen if this and this exist, or if just one of these exist, and so on. Yep. So now we have a little menu here and all our available materials at the bottom. So for here, we're gonna start populating it with our suit upgrades. So since we have the array already, what was the name of that? Suit upgrades. Then we can just print them in a for loop, which I think is the smart way to do it. Who knows? So for var I equals 0, I is smaller than global suit upgrades. Is it array length? I don't remember how it is in Yep, array length. And then I plus. I think there are better ways to do loops nowadays in GameMaker. Thing is, a lot of features that are obvious in normal programming languages are not either not in GML or they've just been added, like pushing things to an array, which you think is a very, very basic thing in most programming languages, is for some reason just got added like a month ago or whatever. My dog is doing something naughty in the kitchen. Just gonna have to hope that nothing comes of that. Okay, yeah, then we will draw text. And since they're all strings, we can... Oh, right. But the position is different for every... Right, okay. So this is X, let's make it 30, and... I don't know, 50... like this. For now, it'll print all of them in the same location. Let's see how awful that looks like. Obviously, we're gonna have to deal with that as well. If this was a website, you know, things would neatly go stack on top of each other, but now... Huh? Oop. Upgrades, not upgrade. There. Yep. They're all printed in one big jumble. Ah, funny that. So how to actually make them appear in the correct place? Fancy, yeah, super. Do I have to hard code them, or is there a way? Is there a way? I'm thinking. Let's see. So only this needs to be different. This is the Y coordinate of the item that needs to be there. So if I put it times, yeah, that might work. It doesn't quite work because we don't have enough height, but times I plus 1, because the first index is of course 0. So this should at least create a way that changes the coordinate by some origin. Yeah. Oh, way ahead of you, Hello Potato. I just did this same thing. Oh yeah, either that or just... Actually, no. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. So we need to actually have the thing that increments it. So incrementor is 0. So plus incrementer. And then we'll add, like, let's say 20 pixels every time. Yeah, like this. I think this is what you were talking about. Oh yeah, incrementer equals incrementer plus 20. Let's see. Amazing, truly amazing, but actually probably don't want them to be called that, but for these purposes it's fine. So let's add a bit more space to everyone. Let's say 30, And now we can actually do the same thing for the cursor. But before we can actually move the cursor, we need to change it so that this, instead of doing all of this shit, will actually choose the next item from the list instead of, god damn it, my fucking dog. Choose the next item from the list. So instead of no one, let's make selected upgrade be 0. So we'll always choose the first one from the list if there are any. If there are not, then doesn't matter. I can just easily make an if statement that will not draw the cursor if there are nothing there. And then if I go down or press S, it should do this. No. Better yet. So index equals selected upgrade, and then if the length of the suit upgrades equals or is bigger than index index -1 actually. Select upgrade -1, yeah. So if there are more items in that list, then you can move down. That's what I'm trying to do here. I think I do ++, but I like to do this just to be safe. So if there is a suit upgrade in the list, then go down. And do the same for S. There. And let's draw the cursor actually. So selector upgrade. And there are indeed 8 here, just like with the weapons, so that's good. But the size of the cursor is a bit of an issue because it's a sprite instead of text, so the Y coordinate isn't exactly the same. But we can at least try. So say 30, 60. Let's uncomment this so it's easier to work with. And close. Having a lot of switch cases and if else is obviously not the best type of programming. I still maintain the switch cases are always a little bit better. But yeah, there are again smarter ways to do things. This is just how I'm doing it for now at least. Oops, no, that's just the default. So yeah, now it should kind of work. Not sure if it actually will. Let's try. Yeah, it actually does. I forgot to make it loop around, so it'll just keep incrementing. But it almost kind of works. We just need to make it go a lot lower in the beginning. Thinking about the future, well, it might be easier to hard code this, but let's just try to make it the smart, do these things the smart way now. So let's add 10 to all of these and see if it's any better. And yeah, I should, well, I know what the maximum is gonna be, so maybe it's okay to use this. So if selected upgrade no, now -1 also. So if selected upgrade is bigger than 7, then it should loop back to, no, not 7, because there, since I'm going with the length of this, it's bigger than this. -1. Then you should loop back to 0. I'm guessing that's how it works. Obviously, things never pan out the way they do on the first time around. Really, it happens sometimes when I'm programming something, like things just immediately like click. But other times, not so much. Seems to be doing the trick. Obviously, the cursor is not in the proper place, but we are getting closer. Up still doesn't work, but that's gonna be later. Try going in and out of the menu. Oh, true that. I haven't even... I don't think I implemented that. ESC should be the thing. Oh! It works, except that the cursor is not in the correct place. Wow. It was a good thing that I cloned this. Where's... Yep. So our current option, just make it 3. And that should be it. Sometimes hard work that you've done before actually pays off. That being said, I don't know if it's so obvious that ESC is the thing that makes you go out of the menu. Maybe there should be also, like, in both of these, like some sort of exit option. I don't know. And also, like, having to do controller support later will be a pain in the ass, but that's a story for another day. Right now, this is intended to be played on a keyboard anyway, so... Yeah, okay, cool. That works. Let's create the going up part. So, same logic, except we are obviously doing this. And then if it's smaller than 0, we'll go again to the... Escape is normally obvious. I think so too. But maybe not everybody agrees. So it's the length -1, because we're working with indexes here after all. And same thing for W. Oh, almost reached the 2-hour mark. I like to keep my streams 2 hours long, usually because that's not only roughly the amount of time that I have energy for anyway, but unless I'm playing a game. But also, like, I have other things planned for today. Wow, going up and down works. Isn't that something? Just need to make the cursor, again, much lower. And it should be fine. Also closer to the text. So suit upgrade menu, draw GUI event. One of the harder things in GameMaker was, with me at least, the distinction between draw and draw GUI, because draw event is just for drawing the sprites, while draw GUI is for actually drawing the UI elements. In the beginning, I put all this UI stuff into just the basic draw event, and I was wondering, like, why does the text look so ugly? Because it was all pixelated and shit. But now I know. So, yeah, X can be a bit higher. Because, yeah, I have it 30, so maybe 20 is enough. And then this needs to be, again, lower. Let's make it again by 10. eventually, if we just work with tens, we'll be close enough. Another issue I can see with this, although I don't use GameMaker, so I'm not sure if it's an issue, is if the window size changes, what happens with the UI? Good question. Good question. What should happen is that there'll just be like extra space, so we're just not using all the available space, but it might also explode. With Draw GUI, I think the way it is, if you're using the Draw event to do this, then yeah, it would fuck things up. But with this Draw GUI event, it should work with the absolute pixel sizes, so you're actually counting X pixels from the top. At least, I think so. Yeah, now it's actually like sort of close. I think if I add 5 more to each, and I can do that later because I wasted enough time with this already, then it should be fine. So 5 pixels lower for every option. And then, yeah, on this right hand side, it will show the cost and a short explanation blurb, like, you know, press X to make fire shoot out really fast and kill everything, and so on. What did I press? Key press 37. I don't know what 37 is. I think I pressed spacebar or control or whatever by accident. That's weird. All right, I might have also went, because with the weapons you actually have to select things, but now I don't have to do that anymore, so I can take away left and right keys. So away with you. Oh wait, no, I do need to select things still. What am I talking about? I need to go from the selecting the upgrade to the actual build option. But maybe... Yeah, no, that'll have to come later, I think. What else I could do in this short amount of time? Creating the UI is probably like the least exciting part of programming a game, so for the next stream I'm probably gonna do something a bit more cooler, like let's say creating the first boss, and what else? Creating more levels, definitely creating the puzzles, things like that. But I think for the rest of this, I'll probably just do it on my own time. I'll need to draw icons for all the upgrades, which is very challenging also to do because I only have like so few pixels to work with for each icon. So maybe there'll be more just for flavor than anything else. Apart from that, yeah, I think there's no point in doing the exact amount of 2 hours, so I think maybe we are done here for today. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. It's been very enjoyable. Thanks a lot for the feedback, Halo Potato. VOD will be posted here on YouTube. And I'll also update my itch.io page as soon as I exit this. Thanks again. See you again next Sunday. If I do surprise gaming streams, maybe earlier than that, but yeah, Sunday is the day that we are doing Game Maker stuff. Hope you have a nice New Year though, because that's gonna be next Thursday or whatever. Don't know what you can do with all this pandemic going on, but enjoy New Year's Eve. Enjoy New Year's Eve anyway. Bye.